Viva Aaliyah. Viva Aaliyah. Viva Aaliyah.
Hey Vivas, welcome to another episode of Viva Aaliyah. This is episode 6 and we are in our 4th season, if you can fucking believe that, because it's still hard for us to believe. I'm giving my best Jersey housewife today, clad in denim and big hair and my gold jewelry. Just wanted to do something a little different. I'm very excited about today's episode. One of the guests I've known for the past, I think, 17 years. And the other guest is somebody that I had the pleasure of meeting over email and over Facebook before, and then had the even bigger pleasure of meeting in person a few weeks ago when I competed for Miss Renaissance. So we have Miss Renaissance and we have the pageant director for Renaissance coming on here in a little bit. But we are back in New York. We're back in the studio. I've been traveling everywhere. We're having a good old time. It is holiday season. I'm very excited about that. And so we want to do some giveaways. So before we do that, I want everybody that is watching on whatever platform you're watching on to go ahead and share out our episode today, because we are actually giving away some high price point giveaways. I don't know why the word giveaway wasn't working for me, but we are giving away some high price point giveaways. I have actually 4 makeup palettes that are unused, untouched, that I received from different companies. And I have way too much fucking makeup. My husband has told me this a million times. So I said, let's do some giveaways. We can make sure the Viva audiences get theirs. I'm very excited. Also, I'm very excited to let you know that for the 2nd year in a row, we will be doing a very Viva holiday concert. I'm going to be doing that on Christmas Day. That is Saturday, December 25th, right? Yes, that's Christmas. For Saturday, December 25th, I will be singing a very Viva holiday. And then we are releasing the 2nd episode of Viva Entertainer. We are going to be walking you through what it's like to live that pageant life, the pageant journey, all of the struggles I went through, all of the great times I had, everybody that was in my corner, the late night chats with Dominic after Viva, the early morning rehearsals with my team. All of that is revealed on that show. These episodes. I'm just making sure that our guests are all good. But until then, once again, we are giving away some things. The first thing that I will be giving away is actually the largest of them. This is a Sephora Pro palette. This palette has quite a few colors. I almost just counted them, but that would take way too long. Has quite a few colors in it. I was given this by Sephora. And I would like to give it away. So we will be asking the questions later, but this is the first giveaway that we'll be doing today. The second giveaway is from a brand called Mala Beauty, and this is the Give Them Lala. So this is the Grown Woman palette, and we are giving away these 2 palettes today on the show. There will be trivia questions that go along with them, but all you have to do is either Google or look shit up. And we are very happy to make sure that we send this out to the right person. Some other housekeeping things, since we haven't been back in New York, we have a very limited quantity of the Viva Aaliyah fans. So if you are interested in the merch, you can message me directly. They are stunning, amazing. I'm very proud of them. They are solid. They are solid bamboo, and This is cloth, so not cheap, no paper here. These go for $35, and that will be shipped to you. We also have a very limited quantity, and these will not be made again because they were made specifically for our season opener, the Viva Aaliyah glassware. It's not glass, it's actually plastic. They're tumblers. They have a lid on them, so you silly drunks can just keep your alcohol in your container. And I want to know who's drinking what out there as well. We also have Viva Aaliyah pins. Oh, sorry. These are going for $15. The tumblers are going for $15. Fans are $35. And then our pins are $10. And the pins, I actually don't have one with me right now. But like I said, we have some beautiful guests that are going to be on the show today. I'm very, 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 very excited to talk to both of them. One of them, as I said, is the pageant director, the owner, the guru of Renaissance Pageantry. And I believe, if I can get a thumbs up, they are ready to go. Wonderful. I am going to bring one of the funniest people I have ever met in my entire life to Viva Aaliyah. This is Randall Smith. Hi, honey. How are you?
Hello. How are you, Aaliyah? Hi. I hope all is well.
All is well. We are back in New York City after all of our traveling. We are doing our thing. We've got the show back in order. So what are you up to?
Oh, I tell you, running around being a crazy person, I literally left Renaissance and went straight into Miss USA. The Miss USA pageant was held in Oklahoma and Tulsa, Oklahoma. So I left for Miss USA, having girls in that. And then, of course, I'm on the prep team for Miss USA. So then we left Oklahoma the night she won. The first morning, that Tuesday morning, we left and went to Houston to prepare her for Miss Universe, which she left on Wednesday of the next day for Miss Universe. So we had really 36 hours to get her ready. And of course, I did her state costume and did some of her wardrobe styling. So really had a great opportunity, but literally a whirlwind within 24 hours.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So Renaissance was a lot of fun. You had it in a new venue this year.
Yes.
That was a big hotel, by the way.
It is a huge hotel.
A huge hotel. But we had a lot of fun. One of my most memorable moments with you was hearing you, and this is my drag sibling, so I'm going to call it out, hearing you do an impression of Christian.
Which one? That's amazing. Now, which one?
Christian France Braxton.
No, I know which Christian, but which mimicking?
When you said, oh, he was up in your room all morning. I bet you he just talked so slow, but you did it in his voice.
His voice, in my Christian voice.
In your Christian voice. Will you do that for me one time? I need to hear.
Randall, I just want to know, am I doing a good job as Mr. Renaissance Opulence? That is Christian. That's the love of our life. I tell you, he's an amazing young man.
My true heart is with Christian. So every show I always ask everybody what's in your glass because I want to know what anybody's drinking, and it doesn't have to be alcoholic because we support our sugar friends here on Viva Aaliyah. A drink is a drink. I'm always going to have alcohol in my glass, honey. So, what are you drinking? What's in your glass?
I'm drinking Dasani water.
Okay.
Coke is a very good close relationship and a promoter of Renaissance. So I have to represent our Coke brand and our Coke product, and I'm drinking water so we can stay hydrated. So once you have that glass of wonderful alcoholic beverage, then make sure you drink, get a little sober with a little Dasani water from Coca-Cola.
Dasani water from Coca-Cola. You heard it here first. Also, if Dasani water wants to sponsor anything else, Viva Aaliyah is always open.
Absolutely. That's why you saw a lot of Coke product around over the weekend.
Yeah, Coke over Pepsi any day for me.
Okay,
Oh,
okay, good. All my girlfriends would appreciate that.
yes. I'm a Diet Coke drinker. Maybe I should have said that in my interview.
Exactly, and because I had plenty, you could have taken back with you.
We were actually traveling up to South Carolina too, so we were driving from Atlanta to South Carolina.
Oh, that would have been perfect. You could have had a snack. Well, I'll have to send you some.
There we go. There you go. So Renaissance is different than. There's a lot of things different about Renaissance that are separate from other pageants. What was your inspiration for starting the pageant, and why did you want to create this system?
Well, I tell you, the great thing is I have had 30 plus years in the pageant world. I worked with Miss America and the Miss USA organization for years. And getting girls ready for Miss America, we had a strong focus on platform. We had a strong focus on platform and community service. And the great thing was when we got the opportunity to really support the community, that was really profound for me. Making a difference and bringing and making the industry or the world that you live in a lot better place than when you left it. So that was important. So what was important is that when I saw drag and I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I judged a few pageants because of my Miss America experience. I judged a few drag pageants and I was like overwhelmed. I was in La La Land, just like a kid in a candy store. I was like, this is fabulous. Of course, I had heard of drag and the industry and how it worked, but I had not really delved in it. So I then started researching and decided that I wanted to do something along the line of the Miss America organization, which had a very strong interview platform base, but also had a strong community service base. Also, the onstage panel discussion was very important because that person is a spokesperson. And that person has to be quick on their feet and think on their feet because they're recruiting, they're advertising, they're promoting, they're the brand face for 365 days a year. So I knew then that I wanted someone that was a spokesperson, someone that knew how to communicate, knew how to be effective in the community. So all of that encompassed when I came up with Renaissance. Renaissance is a rebirth. I wanted at that time, 20 years ago, I wanted it to be a rebirth. I didn't want to be like everybody else. I did not want a carbon copy. So I looked at things that were different. Of course, you're going to have the similarities in the swimsuit for some pageants and versus sportswear. You're going to have talent, of course. You're going to have the interview. But the onstage panel discussion was definitely something that was remarkable for me because no one has ever done it. Now, people have tried to copy it. But we were the first to do it in the LGBTQIA community for pageantry.
But even your interview is different. Instead of sitting down in front of the judges, you have your contestants stand up in front of a podium and really present themselves, which I really appreciated. I know mine was a little different because I was a little later, but I really appreciated being able to kind of present my full self rather than just this to people. What makes you make that decision about standing in front of a podium rather than sitting in front of the judges?
A couple of things is one, aesthetically, you look a lot better standing. Aesthetically, you're more appealing. You're standing there. You're better presenter. At that point, you are the presenter, and the control is your interview. You control the interview, and of course, we get the opportunity to see you from head to toe. We get to see what we're going to, from head to toe, what we're going to love, like, or not. The one thing about it is we get to examine you. And that's really what you are. You are the first thing that comes in play is your image. We judge you by the cover of your book. So we want to be able to see that book cover throughout. It's up to you to change any perceptions, any mindsets, or even enhance it. So that's why you stand. So you stand because we want to see the full effect of who you are. We get a better visual of you totally. We get a whole package of you as opposed to sitting down, and you get to command the room. You get to command the room with how you walk in. You get to command the room with how you talk because the judges are below you now. So now you get to control that interview. And that's really what an interview is all about, is the person that truly controls it. The person that really exudes who they are through their own persona.
Yes. There's probably a lot of people that don't realize what a panel interview is.
Uh-huh.
When you bring this back out, what was your thought process? What do you hope to see during a panel interview? And can you explain it a little bit just for the audience?
I love panel because it is such a dichotomy. most of the time, especially in our LGBTQIA community, the audience is going up for the girl or guy who is a little combative, who is a little bit snappy finger and oh yes and uh-huh and uh-huh. But the judges are instructed to look for a leader. The judges are instructed to look for someone who brings the community together, who brings warmth together, who can have a conversation without being combative. They can correct you. They can enhance you. They can make you feel warm and cuddly so that they don't try to stand out or belittle you. It's about that person who brings about unity. So at that point, we're looking to see how are you going to operate with the fellow contestant, with the fellow court. We're going to look at you, how you're going to operate with your fellow sponsors. We're going to look at you, how you're going to coordinate with other organizations that we work with or other national representatives. Because again, that's what we're looking for, that leader. We're looking for someone who is going to embody a persona of love and togetherness as opposed to division. And that's what I think a lot of times the audience is looking for, that division, because they're like, oh, girl, you slayed, and that's wonderful, and all of that. And yeah, don't let her get away with that. But I'm sitting there literally looking for that leader to rise to the top. And I'll say that because what's so funny is when we first got our first year, we all know the great Amelia Black. Amelia was, yes, we know Amelia. Amelia was not winning the pageant before panel. She was in the pageant with Leisha Paris and Maya Ross Monroe, as well as Doree Sanders. And they were all in panel together. And Maya and Doree went at it, and they went at each other. And then Amelia says, can we all just get along? And boom, the judges just fell in love with her. And she ended up winning the pageant because of literally by bringing harmony, by bringing peace, by bringing, because they were discussing something about love and relationships and things of that nature. And they had a major difference. But because Amelia just sat there, she listened, she just said, can we all just get along? And I think it was just so appropriate. I think it was probably around the Rodney King era too. Rodney King was the guy that got beat in California back in that era. And I think we were all trying to look for unity. So that was a peace thing that was going on. So that's really that's really what panel is all about, is looking for that person who's going to bring unity to the community. So literally, but the audience loves it because they like the combativeness.
This year was a big year for Renaissance. It was an anniversary year.
Yes.
And we have a beautiful new queen that is a sister of mine. I've known Eva for, I think, 17 years now. She can correct me if I'm wrong. But we've known each other pre-drag and then actually started drag around the same time. She will always tell you I'm older because she's the young, pretty one. We know. But actually, she's here, and I would like to bring her on. Eva, if you're ready. Let's bring Eva Angelica Stratton, Miss Renaissance, on with us.
Hi.
Hello, beautiful.
How are you?
Woman. She is stunning and everything. And yes, I already told everybody you're younger. It's fine.
You told them what?
That you're younger. It's fine.
Oh, yes. Much younger.
Much younger. Okay.
How are you guys?
Wonderful. How are you?
Good. Running a little behind. The last event didn't get to start on time, so sorry
Randall,
I'm a little late.
Your Miss Renaissance this is your third or fourth event today.
Say that again?
Is this your third or fourth event today that you've done?
Oh, wow.
This will be my third.
Third.
Yeah.
So
And then I have one more after this.
Right.
He's on the move.
Always.
You only got a year, right?
That's right. Well, look, we never know.
Yeah.
We never know.
Yeah,
Good point.
let's not do that again, though.
I know. Let's not do it again. I would love that to happen, but let's not do that again.
Eva, this was not your first time competing at Renaissance. What drew you back to competing and capturing the title this year?
I am huge on energy and connections and just enjoying my time. And the first time I did Renaissance when Deja won, I didn't really know a lot of people inside the Renaissance family. I knew names and faces, but I didn't really know any of them. And when I walked into the hotel for registration, no one really cared. You know, they sat right there and talked to me, and immediately I just felt like I belonged to something. So I knew that no matter what the outcome was going to be that weekend, that I would be back in some capacity. And when Deja was announced the winner, I told myself I was going to return. And then, you know, we had to take a little year break. But I was committed that no matter what, I was going to return to Renaissance at some point. So
And you were able to capture the title. You swept the floor clean of the categories. How did it feel to have that crown on your head this year?
it was very surreal. I still don't think it's really kind of hit or really set in. I'll show up to a show on Friday, and Desiree, who's a former, she'll be like, "Hi, Miss Renaissance," and it's still like, "Oh my gosh, that's me." But it felt amazing. It was my first. You know, Aaliyah, my journey has not always been the most beautiful or the most gracious. So just finally kind of getting into who I was in the right time in the right place with the right energy, and it just felt right. It felt like it was supposed to happen, and I'm super excited.
I'm very excited for you, girl. And I already told you, if EOY doesn't happen this year for me, I'm there again. I will be there again with you.
We
Randall,
hope so. We hope so.
I'll be there
Right.
either way. I'll be front row if I'm National Entertainer of the Year. If not, I'll be in the competing again.
We want you to be successful, but you know we're always here waiting on you.
Yes.
Right.
Randall, what are you hoping for this year? Obviously, we're out of COVID now. We have been able to kind of push things forward. What are you hoping for this year?
It's really, you know, I look back, and as I spoke to you earlier about Renaissance being a rebirth, I look back and it's 20 years later, and it's like, whoa, where did the 20 years go? I look forward to another rebirth. Another rebranding, another involvement. And this time, you know, I tell you that very strong with me is the Renaissance Cares. Community service is very important to me, and advocacy work is so important. So I want to see those two really more bridged together. Well, you know, the entertainment is gorgeous. The entertainment is glamorous. That's wonderful. And that's the way a lot of our people make their money. But also, I want us to use that community service leg and can you know, to really take the community to an even higher and a more greater impact in the community. So I want to leave the community better than how we found it. So I want us to focus a little bit more on advocacy for more youth, for the LGBT community, for more trans youth, for more homelessness, just more trans issues that are involved, as well as just gay issues all over. So we've got some great advocates. Of course, our very own Eva is an HIV advocate. So she falls right into that leg. We've got another couple of people on our court in our film and MI division that are involved in philanthropy, that is involved in HIV awareness. So we've got the people there now. Now we've got to really get more of the work done. So that's really where I am with bridging Renaissance Cares with Renaissance Pageant, with a rebirth of really understanding that community service is important to make a difference in our world.
Absolutely. Eva, what do you have planned for your year?
Honestly, like I said in interview, this is for me it's a learning year for me. I have never been a national title holder. This is my first experience, and I want to learn everything that I can possibly learn. I want to be able to be visible. I think that that's huge. And advocacy work is visibility. We need to be out there, and I want to be able to do that. I am a nonprofit professional by profession by day. That's another reason which really drew me into the Renaissance pageant. And I would like to be able to work with Renaissance Cares in the community of Atlanta and the community across the country, really, to speak about trans issues and HIV in the trans community, and we're not speaking about it. And I'm an advocate for my brother, and I have brothers and sisters who are affected by HIV. And in order to end the stigma, we have to rip that Band-Aid off, and we've got to start talking about it. And especially in the trans community, especially in the trans male community, we've got to be able to feel comfortable enough to talk about these and have these conversations, because they're not easy conversations, and they're very uncomfortable conversations, but they have to happen.
No, they definitely do. And thank you for being such a strong advocate in our community, both of you. Even I know in your day job you do a lot of work within our community. I think just in case you see yourselves around it a little bit, we're getting feedback. I'm not sure where it's coming from. So my producer's like, it's not an interview. It actually sounds like it might be externally coming in somehow. So if anybody's hearing it, Dominic's working on it. He's amazing. Before I ask you two more questions, we are going to do the first giveaway of tonight. This is a Owner of Renaissance Pageantry. And the question that we are asking your guests to answer is, who was the fourth guest on Viva Aaliyah? Who was the fourth guest ever on Viva Aaliyah? So we have been through we've been through 72 guests now. Mm-hmm. And our fourth guest ever, whoever that was, you will win the Sephora Pro palette. And then we have another giveaway at the show. So because it's holiday season, we've got some giveaways, y'all. But I'm very thankful for everything that both of you are doing, and that's one of the things that drew me to Renaissance. But also, just like is going to keep me in the family is the advocacy work that Randall you put out there, and Eva, I know I kind of mentioned this, but I would love for you to talk a little bit more about the work that you actually do.
So I'm the director of programs for Phoenix Pride Incorporated, or Phoenix Pride Organization. We are obviously a Pride festival that started 40 years ago. And in 2008, the organization, I am at the bar, so that might be my feedback, so I do apologize. Okay. I lost my train of thought. Sorry. Desiree's coming in. Sorry, guys.
Miss Desiree, good morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hello.
They said hello. Randall says hi. She says hello.
Tell her happy early birthday.
Happy early birthday, he says. He said thank you. So I worked for the organization. In 2008, we decided to move more into a philanthropic efforts, using the Pride Festival to generate funds to give back into the community. So since 2008, we've reached $1 million that we have awarded back into the community in the forms of scholarships, community grants that are awarded to nonprofit organizations that are creating or developing LGBTQ programming, as well as our partnership grants. Over the past year, I have been working and created a diversity and inclusive training that we have provided to all of our corporate sponsors, as well as other state agencies and entities here in Arizona. Just through my experience as a trans woman, I worked in retail for many years. I worked in cosmetic sales for many years. I had good experiences and I had some really bad experiences. So using that in my passion, I created a program to be able to talk about inclusive workplaces. What's that look like, and how do we actually actively practice it? It's not just something that we can say we're doing. We can't just put policies into place. We actually have to practice them and put them into efforts. And then I also sit on the Greater Phoenix Ryan White HIV Planning Services Council as a board member. I am in a 3-year service with them. I'm still relatively new and learning into that. And yeah, like I said, I have friends and family who are living with HIV, and especially in the trans community, it's something that we don't speak about. And in order to end this epidemic, we have to start talking about it.
Yes. Not to ask you for resources right here, but what are some great resources in your opinion? I am going to put you on the spot, even though I said I don't want to, but but what are some resources, in your opinion, that people can really educate themselves with?
Here in Arizona, there's two really great organizations. There's a lot of community nonprofits here that do amazing work. But Aunt Rita's is a nonprofit organization that raises money, awareness, and education for 13 partner agencies throughout the state of Arizona, as well as a fast track programming to end the HIV epidemic here in Arizona. Specifically in Maricopa County, our numbers are extremely high. We are still considered an epidemic state, and there's a lot of work that we have to be able to get done here. Southwest Center is another amazing organization here that provides HIV services, but also transgender services and gender expansive services. So whether it be care or whether it be just navigation or someone helping to get your names changed or gender markers, that's a really great organization as well. And then, of course, there's national ones. Trevor is really great. You work for an amazing organization as well. HRC is also a great organization.
Thanks, sister. Appreciate. First of all, I appreciate everything that you do. And I know you really like it hasn't always been the most like glamorous journey. I'm not trying to like changing your words, but in my opinion, you've always been this wonderful woman. And I mean, I've known you for 17 years. We are aging ourselves a little bit, but this is who you've always been. She's always been. So I want to encourage you to give yourself credit for then too, because girl, we all have to at some point.
Right. Thank you for that.
Randall, there is not just Renaissance, but there's an organizational foundation that's tied to Renaissance as well. Can you talk through that a little bit more?
Yes, Renaissance Cares. Again, it goes back to understanding what we wanted to do in the community to make more of an impact. And again, it goes along with that philanthropic work that I love doing in the community. A lot of the events that I do here in Atlanta, whether it's working for Children's Healthcare of Atlanta or working with Mercy Care that's dealing with homelessness and dealing with indigent people, I wanted to have a leg of community service, and that's what Renaissance Cares came about. And it was my 2015 court that we really started the Renaissance Cares organization program. And it wasn't until 2019 that we got our 501c3. So we became a nonprofit, and I've spent the last 2 years during the pandemic, which, I look at the great thing about the pandemic allowed me to sit back and develop Renaissance Cares. And at that time, I partnered with a couple of organizations to teach me how to be a nonprofit. I got into learning how to do HIV testing. I got into learning how to work and open a trans house with a partnership organization that we work with here. I worked with some trans youth. So we started working really a lot in the community. And then I was taking some classes at Emory Campus Center here at Emory University, which allowed us to learn how to really organize and have sustainability and to write grants and to fund yourself and to build a board and to build a staff. So I'm literally currently still in a class right now called Power Forward, and it teaches nonprofit CEOs and executive directors how to be an organization. So that's really how Renaissance Cares came about. So we're still in our infancy of learning how to be the most effective way in our community. So I have spent that. I'm glad that the pandemic happened for that reason, because it allowed me to go into healthcare. It allowed me to go to work, because we were shut down. My regular gig was shut down. It allowed me to go and work in a clinic with my friend who helped me understand the HIV pandemic. So here I am, STI, STD, all of those things, and taking classes to learn about sexual health and sexual behavior. And I tell people all the time, as a young gay guy coming up, I was doing absolutely nothing. I didn't know anything about sexual health, anything about, thinking I was turning it in bed and honey, I was doing so much greatness. And then I took this class and I'm like, whoa, they do all of that? I'm clutching my pearls. But you learn those things. But at the same time, you have to learn how to not be judgmental. because you've got so many people that come about that comes through that you want to help. You can't help someone looking down your nose at them. So you have to learn some things, and you have to change some behaviors. Although now I'm older, I'm more mature, I'm thinking I'm more refined than that. But you've got to throw all of that out the window if you really truly want to help someone. So that's really what Renaissance Cares is about, is really stopping the pandemic, but also giving a helping hand into linkage to care and understanding why people are where they are. That we have a lot of mental health that go along with our HIV pandemic, and of course a lot of drug abuse and all other things that go along with it. So that's where Renaissance Cares came about, and realized that, hey, we're entertainers, we're beautiful, we're excited, but guess what we are? We are a voice for that community. And people look up to us. People love us. They want to be like us. Hopefully they don't want to be us, but they want to be like us in the sense of, the promotion. So with that being said, we have a loud voice. Entertainers have a way of making the community so much better. And who better to do that than the people that you admire when you're out having fun, when you're out hanging? It makes the stigma a lot less. It makes the understanding a lot less when it comes from your good girlfriend, Eva, who I love her. I saw her on the show. You think you're Eva's best friend. And if Eva comes up to you and give you a condom, then you may think about it. Or Eva comes up and says, I need you to go get tested or get on PrEP, whatever that may be. Or here's a way for you to get housing. If Eva tells you how to do all of that, then you're probably listening a lot better than someone, an organization or a sponsor, a company just telling you, oh, go get tested. So those are the kind of things that I realize Renaissance Cares is powerful because of the community that we work with.
That's amazing. Yeah, there's a lot that we need to destigmatize in our community and make sure people are talking about. One, sex is okay to talk about. It is fine to talk about sex. Sex is not taboo. It's something we all do. It's something we all need to talk about. It's something we all need to get more educated about on how to do it safely and properly, and how we can better our own health in life. And I've said this from day one of my drag career. It is our jobs to be the megaphone when we're on that stage. That is why we get to do what we do. Yes, we love it. Yes, we're entertainers. Yes, we can be beautiful. We can be creepy. We can be scary. We can be whatever we want. But we are the entertainers that get up on that stage, and it is our job to speak for people. And anybody who doesn't do drag for that reason is not doing it right.
There you go.
So, Eva, what is coming up for you, my friend? What do you have going on? What can we look out for you? Where can we look out for you?
I have some bookings coming up that I will be posting, that I will be going to Alabama. I will have some Atlanta bookings. I'm actually in the process of planning a wedding. Jericho and I are going to get married in October of 2022, October 22nd, 2022. So yeah, it's been really busy with that work. We just released a whole new logo and a new branding. And currently I'm planning the Pride pageant, which is another fun fact of my job. So I have 16 contestants right now that I'm trying to just make sure that I'm doing okay by them and that they have what they need, But yeah, I'm horrible, Desiree said. But yeah, the biggest thing right now is Jericho and I are getting married. And I want to be able to get out and travel and get my face out there and meet people. I think storytelling is the biggest thing in our community, and that's really what's most important, I think, is to be able to share stories, hear stories, and continue those stories on. So in order to do that, you have to get out of, the own four walls of your own community and start seeing other communities out there so that we can truly be united,
Well, it's as part of your reign. Once things start opening up, drag shows start opening up again in New York, let's get you here in New York.
I would love that.
With that red, white, and black. I'm actually going to ask you about that, Randall. But Miss Renaissance needs to be in New York City. Randall, first, before I ask you what's coming up for Renaissance, where did the red, white, and black come from?
Well, it's a funny story, only because red is my favorite color in life. I've always loved red. Black is my favorite color to wear. I always, and so those two kind of merged, and I needed a neutral. So that's where the white was thrown in. So literally, it was all about the symbolism of Randall. Randall loved red, and he loved he of course, and speaking in the third person, and he loved to wear black. So those were the colors that really made it pop. And of course, I just needed that neutral to really work it through. And so that's really where the colors came in. It's just it was a way for me to throw a little bit more of me into it.
And this episode will forever be on the internet. So I'm asking you now, will there be a presentation for Renaissance next year? Because we all have them in our suitcases.
We just may have to add presentation just for you. I'll tell you, I'll make a pact with you. After EOY, I'll make a decision if we'll add presentation.
No, the red, white, and black parade of contestants. Yeah. We all had one.
I know, but we'll make it happen this year.
So it's in the handbook, but
it is in the handbook. But time sometimes throws us off. What you'll find out about me is I go in and I time the show out because I'm trying to cut the show down so that it's not so long. So I always go in and then I start cutting things at the last minute. So little productions get cut out because I'm trying to realize we got to get out of here. I don't want to keep everybody all night. So I'm literally going in cutting. So that now you found some of my my tape on the floor. So that production got cut on the floor. It's on the cutting room floor.
It was fine. We had plenty of categories to go through. So you talked about Renaissance, but what is coming up for you? Is there anything you haven't told us about this year that you're planning for Renaissance in the court? What can we look out for?
Oh, absolutely. Well, Randall is continuously working with young women who compete for Miss America, Miss USA. Miss USA just happened a few weeks ago. And then, of course, Miss Universe is happening live tomorrow. So watch Miss Universe, Miss USA compete for Miss Universe. Then I'm working with girls who compete for Miss Earth. As well as girls who compete for Miss America, which is going on right now equally as well. So I'm constantly coaching and preparing girls for their destiny. With that being said, we are preparing for the destiny of our Renaissance court, our Renaissance brand, and our Renaissance family. We got lots of great things. Of course, you were just talking about Eva coming to New York. She has been on the hot button. So we've got a lot of people that's ready for her to come to cities near her. They want to see that blonde bombshell. So she is going to be very, very busy. She just doesn't realize it. I've gotten a lot of phone calls that I'm like, give me a week, I'll call you back. Give me a week, I'll call you back. So she is going to be very, very popular. They're looking for this beautiful woman to come to the city to entertain them because she has really blown up the market. So with that being said, there she is, absolutely. With that being said, we've got a lot for the court to. She opened up a few minutes ago that this is her first national. We want to take what she knows and we want to take what we know so that we can all grow together. So we're going to do a retreat coming up very, very soon. We like to do a pageant retreat where we get our reps together to learn how to be national. Meaning that doesn't mean we're teaching them how to be national. They're teaching us their national ability as well. So we come together with a meeting of the mind for a retreat, for a 2-day retreat. We're planning that in January so that we can all understand how to recruit, how to promote, and how to be effective in the community that we can make a difference. So that's what we're getting ready to do. So we're excited for all the wonderful, great things. And people are really reaching out about doing the pageant next year, getting the information out early and preparing for next year so that we can truly be ready to bring on more Evas in their own right.
I mean, nobody will ever be as pretty as my sister. I'm just telling you that right now. But girl, you better keep that blonde wig going. He said they want the blonde bombshell. You better keep them blonde hair pieces going, girl. Hit up Sunny Delight. She's got you covered.
That's her sister, so.
Right? Eva, would you like to leave everybody with anything else before you head off and do a full show? First of all, she's about to do a full show, y'all, right after this interview. So after this, she's got to go put on them stiletto heels and walk down those beautiful stairs.
No, I just wanted to say thank you for inviting me, and thank you for being with me at the pageant. We go way back, from where we started, and just to see where we're at now. is just so amazing to me, just to remember and to see where we're at. So to be able to share that with a sister and family was amazing. It was the cherry of the topping. So thank you for having Randall and I here. Randall, it's great to see you guys. And happy holidays to you.
I won't share any of our old photos.
Say that again?
I said I won't share any of our old photos.
Desiree wants me to let you all know that she's the reason why I went to Renaissance.
Well, tell her thank you. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
And
For every word.
Randall, any last words from you for our audience?
Again, I am honored to be a part of your show today, and I truly thank you. And I thank you for your participation in Renaissance. I look forward to you getting your R one day. So, I don't know when it will happen, but I know it will happen. And I will stay on you. And you're that kind of girl that we really look for. You're the example for the community. So continue to do this. I am so proud of everyone who can really contribute to the community. And it's people like you, the reason why I go forth. So 20 years more is my motivation for people like yourself. So continue to be an integral part of the community. And thank you for having us and giving Renaissance a little bit more of a platform to communicate.
Of course. 20 years more, Randall, you'll still be zipping around the back audience. And even I will be like on our canes coming in. Yeah. Just pull.
As long as we can keep pulled,
pull
we'll figure it out.
Thank you both for being here. I really appreciate both of you and what you do for our community. Once again, it is important to talk about sex. It is important to be safe in your sex, whatever that means for you. But mostly it's important to be educated about what you can do to be safe and how you can keep safe, and be educated about your status. So both of these beautiful individuals have talked a lot about that this episode, and we want to keep that message going. So if you have not got tested, now's a good time. Go and talk to your primary care, or there are lots of centers out there that will do it without having to charge an insurance if you need that. In New York City, the center is the place to go for all of that. And I'm sure there are centers all around the US that you can Google or search or talk to somebody about, but know your body and know what you can do for your body is the best thing that you can do for anybody. I love these individuals both so much. Randall, Eva, thank you for being here. We're going to go ahead and close out the show. Have a great show, sister. And Randall, I will see you on a stage somewhere, I have no doubt.
Look forward to it. Thank you, love.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Vivas, what a great episode. We did have a little feedback, so we will pull our giveaways into the next episode as well. I just want to say thank you again to Eva and Randall. They have been, Randall is one of the funniest people I've ever met in my entire life, and Eva has been a sister for life. I just am so, it was an absolute pleasure listening. Such was a yes. Thank you for your contributions. Sion is one of the greatest people I know. So thank you for watching, babe. Randall, I will see you backstage here in just a minute. I'm going to close out the show. Viva's, once again, an amazing show. I can't wait to be with you next week. We are here back in New York City. And don't forget, on Christmas, if you don't have anywhere to go, flip on your YouTube, your Facebook, your Twitter, your Twitch. I will be doing a concert and singing to all of you, with all of you. And we're just going to be having a good holiday time. I cannot wait to share that with you. And I hope that if you don't have anywhere to go, that you are tuning in and commenting in, and we'll chat during the show, because you are family to me. Everybody out there that has made Viva Aaliyah possible, thank you. And we will see you next week. Viva Aaliyah.
Viva Aaliyah.